Hello everyone and welcome to Photo Finds. I'm your host Gavin Hatch, and this week we are doing a time hop episode focusing on the end of October from 2011 up to 2015. So let's get started and go back in time. It was this week in 2011 that Kevin Yee took us to Hollywood Studios to show us the progress on the Osborne spectacle of dancing lights. This is something I really will miss this year. I took it for granted because it was fun to do. I didn't do it every single year, but I grew up with it, just like a lot of people that don't even live here in Florida. It is something that y'all do when you come to the parks during the holiday season, so it will be missed, even though they just announced a whole new projection show that's going to be taking place during the holidays instead of the Star Wars spectacle over in the front of the park and using the projections on the Chinese theater. So we'll see how that turns out. I'm not a huge fan of projection shows, but hopefully, I don't think it's going to live up to the Osborne lights, but hopefully it will be good. Now, I was watching one of Kevin's Photo Find episodes from 2011, and I learned about two cool hidden Mickeys in the Great Movie Ride. Now, these may not be here anymore, but I don't see why they wouldn't be. So next time you ride the Great Movie Ride, go ahead and take a look and look out for these hidden Mickeys. Now, to your left in the gangster scene, there are those movie posters from actual movies that came out back in the black and white days when gangster films were really popular, and there is the leg of Mickey Mouse behind part of his leg behind. You can see his foot behind one of the posters, and then to your right above one of the animatronics you can see the shadow of Mickey's head. You can see the top of his head and you can see both of his ears very well in the kind of looks like a warehouse, and it's backlit, so it's just the shadow of Mickey's head, and this is in the gangster scene. So next time your ride vehicle stops there and the show is going on, go ahead and look around for those. And if you find any more in this attraction, go ahead and comment below if you're watching this on YouTube and let me know where your favorite hidden Mickeys are in Hollywood Studios. Now, around this time that year, there were some issues going on over at the Muppet Vision 3D attraction. So when you'd walk into the theater, the orchestra pit that had all those penguins, the animatronic penguins, the lift system that would make them go down, I should say, during the show while the film was being projected was not working. So the whole lift was up the entire time during the show. During the movie, you could still see these penguins sitting up in the orchestra pit, and it was kind of blocking the vision, I'm sure, of some guests, and of course kind of ruining the magic and the quality of the show. So I was very surprised to learn that this happened and Disney actually left the ride open, or the attraction open. So again, I'm only surprised because Disney's all about show quality, and if something's not right, guests don't experience it. Guests shouldn't see it or be around it if it's not 100%, and this of course was not 100% show quality, so I was surprised that they still left the ride operational. But if you actually got to experience this yourself, if you saw this back in 2011 or any other time, if this is broken multiple times, go ahead and comment below if you're watching this on YouTube and let me know what it was like and if you remember this happening to you. Over at the American Idol Experience, the 1,000th dream ticket was given to one lucky guest. She won the contest and got that dream ticket by singing "I Will Survive," which is very fitting. And the dream ticket usually was just an envelope and something that they can take with them out of the theater, but that night it was an oversized, because of course they were doing a lot of publicity for this moment, so it was an oversized dream ticket. Now, she did not get to take that home with her. That was strictly just for publicity. Of course, she did, though, in real life get a dream ticket, and I wonder if she actually used that and went to one of those real American Idol auditions. Of course, now this attraction is long gone, and also the show itself. But if you were there for that, comment below if you're watching this on YouTube. Now, last week I went to SeaWorld's Halloween Spooktacular, and looking at pictures from the event in 2011, I noticed that they used to use the Bayside Stadium as a dance party zone where you could take pictures and dance and get candy and things like that. A lot of fun stuff over there. But when I was there the other day, I noticed that they did not have that set up like this anymore. It is now, the Bayside Stadium is not really used. You walk through there to get candy behind the stadium, but the stage is already in the process of being transformed into the Christmas ice skating show. So there are Christmas trees up throughout the park, including Bayside Stadium right now, even though the Halloween event is still going on. Now, this year, for the first time, they are using the Ports of Call area for Halloween Spooktacular, and that is Penelope's dance area, and over there they have all kinds of cool meet and greets and candy giveaways and food and merchandise, and of course a DJ. So I guess maybe they just moved that section over to the Ports of Call and are no longer going to use the Bayside Stadium area. Over at Universal Orlando, the Hollywood Drive-In and Golf was under construction. I can't believe that it opened up in 2012. It feels like it just opened up last year, but it's been there since 2012, and it was under construction in 2011, as you can see here. A really fun course. If you haven't done it, go out and do it at night. I highly recommend doing this at night, not during the day. A lot better weather and a lot more fun. The effects are better at night, unfortunately. It's open during the day, so you can go in the morning and do it, but it's just not as cool because at nighttime they have all kinds of neat effects going on that you can only see in the evening with the lighting and such. So try this out next time you are staying at Universal Orlando or just going on through for a visit. Alright, so let's jump to 2012 over to the Magic Kingdom. This is something I don't think they sell anymore. I have not seen this in years. I've actually never seen this in person, but this was in 2012. They were selling a Jack Skellington coffin popcorn bucket. So it was a coffin, which I think looks really neat, and then on the front of it had Jack Skellington. Again, I don't think they sell this anymore. If they do, comment below on YouTube and let me know. If you have one, again, let me know. I think that this is pretty neat. Of course, they've changed them up over the years. I don't think they introduced anything new for this year. I might be mistaken, but you know, a lot of people collect those popcorn buckets, so I think it's a good idea to kind of change them out every few years or every year because people want to collect them and have a variety at home. It was this week in 2012, the Pirates of the Caribbean reopened, and they had some new enhancements. They added the new skeletons on the beach before you go down the drop there, so the skeletons reflected the mermaids. They had mermaid skeletons. They're still there now, of course. They also added in some water effects. There's no pictures of that, but I'm sure if you've been there since 2012, you've seen it, but they have the mermaids in the water, and of course the music has changed. They've put the mermaid song there now while you're going into the beginning of the attraction. So I hope they don't ever change this attraction drastically because it is a classic, but I know that it's gone through some enhancements throughout the years, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you know, let's not do anything too drastic to the classic attractions such as Pirates of the Caribbean. Here's a quick look at City Walk. At this time in 2013, there was some construction going on. The Mexican restaurant was being built. This replaced where the Latin Quarter nightclub used to be. They got rid of that nightclub to put a restaurant there. There's still nightclubs though, so you can still go to City Walk and do the nightclubs. You can go there just to go shopping. There's not as much shopping as there used to be. Disney Springs definitely has more shopping, but when you want to get food, City Walk is your place to go for food. There's lots of great restaurants now and a good variety as well. Inside Universal Studios, construction was going on over in Diagon Alley, or should I say London. We couldn't go in Diagon Alley yet, but this is what it looked like at the end of October in 2013. You could really, it was starting to take shape. You could look at this and tell it was London, even though it wasn't announced yet that that's what they were doing. But you could walk through here and definitely tell that this was going to be a replica of London, or parts of London, I should say. Over at what used to be Downtown Disney, there was a dragon boat race in the lagoon there along the water's edge. I've never seen this happen before. I wasn't there for this myself, and I've never heard of them doing it again. If they have done it multiple times, I've missed the memo each time, but it looks pretty cool. Let's jump to 2014 to Disney's Animal Kingdom Park, where we can see early construction over at where there is now an amphitheater for what was supposed to be the Rivers of Light show, and that has been delayed because it's got so many issues and such a mess, just like a lot of different areas of Disney right now, that it did not debut with the rest of all the nighttime summer activities this past summer, and instead they have the Jungle Book Alive with Magic. That was a great show. It has since ended because it was only there for the summer, but they did use that space for that show. Now the amphitheater is not being used for entertainment, but when they do get the Rivers of Light show perfected, hopefully sooner than later, we'll be able to use these amphitheaters again and have a great show. At this time in 2014, Popeye and Bluto's Bilge-Rat Barges was closed for refurbishment, and it's a good time to kind of do that. We're getting into the cooler months, so you'll see more water attractions closing down for refurbs. Right now, they're all still open, and it's a good time to get wet. It's a really great attraction, actually. This one specifically is a great attraction if you are looking to get soaking wet on. But of course, once December, January, February come around, you will see a lot of water attractions closing down, and they'll be using that time to go ahead and do refurbishments for the spring break crowds to come in, and also, of course, that will lead right into summer. Not too far away from Toon Lagoon is where we now have Skull Island Reign of Kong, a wonderful attraction that was it's huge and much anticipated, and at this time in 2014 they had just started construction on the building. The building had went vertical and they had the still frame of the building going up, and of course now it looks completely different and is a great attraction. So make sure you go check that out if you are coming to the Orlando area anytime soon. Over at Universal Studios, they had redone all the pavement. They took out a lot of the brick that was in the streets over by where the Starbucks and Transformer attraction is located, and they took that out and surfaced it, made it very flat, and put a whole new type of concrete in, and that was because they started changing the route of the parades, and so this makes it much easier and safer for the parade floats to go and drive on. Of course, I thought it was better with the old brick just for authentic reasons, but for safety and for the parade, it does make more sense to have this type of concrete and surface for them. So this has changed over the years. If it's been a while since you've been to Universal Studios, you might notice this on your next visit. Now let's jump to 2015. Over in City Walk, this was the week they were getting ready to open up the NBC Sports Grill and Brew. They were actually putting the finishing touches on it and getting everything set up for the grand opening celebrations and all the media to come in and cover the opening of this restaurant. It is a great place to go to dine if you are looking to do something outside of the theme parks, but still without having to get into your car and leave Universal. So I would recommend coming here for lunch or dinner. If you're thirsty, go to Universal Studios in Springfield, USA. Dufftoberfest is happening again this year, so you can go to Duff Beer Garden or to Moe's Tavern and take part in Dufftoberfest and grab a beer that is brewed specifically just for Universal Orlando and just for this event during the month of October. And it's just a great place to go grab a drink. It's a lot of fun and it's relaxing. Take a break from all the rides and grab a beer. Send money to Universal Studios. Over at Islands of Adventure, I can't believe it's already been a year, but the deconstruction of the old Hulk roller coaster was starting and the construction walls were up. Of course, it has been reopened since then, and it is a wonderful new attraction. I love how it's so smooth now, and I'm obsessed with the soundtrack. The musical score when you are riding that attraction is great, and it really adds a whole new element to the attraction, and it's a lot of fun. If you are a thrill seeker and love coasters, make sure you come to Orlando to do the Incredible Hulk. Well, that will do it for this week's episode of Photo Finds. I hope all of you have a great week. Make sure you subscribe to Attractions Magazine, and of course, get out, have fun, and enjoy those parks.